I wonder what happened. Yeah, me too. Hello, Kirsty. Yeah, it came up and I saw, and I waved, and then my YouTube just shut down, like totally shut down and took me back to the home page. So I had to restart it. But hello. How are we, friends? We have 3 here and 6 thumbs up. That's an awesome start, isn't it? I hope we're still here. Yes, we are. Explorer Dora. Hello, my love. Hello, Amanda. Everyone's saying hello. I pressed something I shouldn't have, says Dora. No, I don't think we can blame you, Dora. Hello, Reese. Welcome in if you're still here. Everyone is saying hello. I hope you're all well. I got wide mouth quarter jars for my tomatoes. Ah, nice. I am using half litre jars. I've got 6 that I'll be using and then 2 smaller ones. Dora says, I'm on the computer and stuffed my live stream, Susan, with my fingers. Nah, not this time, my love. That is great. Wide mouth ones are the best, says Kirsty. So, my friends, we're making this tomato sauce. And we might have a little problem in that it's going to take a little bit longer to make than I thought, but we'll get there. Art, we gotta go eat. Susan, your hair looks great. Thank you. I'll see you soon, Jason. So yes, it is Saturday morning here in the high country of Victoria, Australia. It is 9:35 in the morning, and today I want to, what does it say? I want to make ketchup too, Susan, says Amanda. Well, once the live's finished, as always, I'll go and put the recipe in the description. I didn't put the recipe yet because I wasn't really sure if I was going to have enough tomatoes. So I thought, depending on how many tomatoes I had, I'd either have to scale the recipe up or scale it back. But I've got just the right amount, so I didn't need to adjust the recipe at all. But this is a recipe that you can scale up or down very easily. But for the time being, I've got my big ass jam pot here, and I suppose because it's going to take such a long time, I better start making stuff while we chat. So let me just have a look here. I'll turn this around. Hello, Shaz. Hello, my love. How are you? Jason says, blessed weekend to all. Dora says, I'm very curious of how you make your sauce. I made some last year and I loved it, so waiting to see how you make yours. Well, my love, we're starting with 3.5 kilos of tomatoes. So put tomatoes, apples, and onions in the pot. So I am going to be chopping up today 3.5 kilo of tomatoes, approximately 500 grams of peeled apples, 6 onions, 1.5 cups of sugar, 4 cups of malt vinegar, 4 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of salt. We're going to be putting in various spices like cayenne, peppercorns, allspice, cloves, and things like that. So they're the ingredients. And now you just get to sit and watch me chop things. And keep me company while I'm doing it. All right. Can you see all these tomatoes I've got here? There's so many of them. And also, I wanted to give you guys the option. Once I get everything prepared, we have to put the pot onto the stove to boil away and to thicken and all that sort of thing. Now, I can do it on the wood stove. That was my intention, to do it on the wood stove. But the wood stove, being a wood stove, will probably cook it slower than the electric hot plate would. So we can cook it on the wood stove, but yeah, it'll take longer. So I thought I would give you guys the option as to whether we cook this stuff on the wood stove or not. Now, can you see everything? Yes, you can. All right, so for the time being, I am just going to sit and I might... welcome in, my friend. How are you today? Carnold. It's my understanding ketchup takes up overnight pretty much, an all-day affair. Yeah. Well, look, this recipe that I'm doing, oh, and welcome in. Sorry, my name's Susan, in case you don't know me. I am in the Highlands of Victoria, Australia. And this recipe that I am doing, I've been doing since 2002, according to that book. Now, every year when I make it, I sort of tweak it a little bit. The first year I made it, I put in a whole kilo of apples, for instance. And the second year I made it, I halved that and only used 500 grams because I thought a kilo of apples was too sweet. So I've been doing this same recipe for many years, and for me, like once I've got it all prepared, I tend to cook it for 2 to 3 hours. And that seems to work quite well. Now this tomato, I'm only going to use half of it. All the others are all good. Toyo, hello my love. Welcome in. Yeah, so I've been doing this same recipe since 2002, every single year. And every single year it does get tweaked ever so slightly. It does change. But it's just some of the quantities. Like I like things fairly spicy. So over the years I have sort of ramped up the various spices, the peppers, the garlic, the cayenne pepper. I think last year when I made it, I used smoked paprika as well, because I love my smoked paprika. No, I won't use the rest of that one. Nice to meet you, Art. That is a big pot, yes. This pot I tend to use only for jams and chutneys and relishes and things like that. Now, has anyone, speaking of the wood stove, let me see what the wood stove's doing. Turn you around. There's the stove. Oh, look, and you've got a big pot of vinegar. We'll get that out your way. Let's see. Hey, Pepper. All right. Well, it's going. That's something. So, yes, I've seen wild recipes. Does it have orange in it? This one that I'm doing, Amanda, no, it doesn't. Well, I do have a recipe with orange in it as well. That would be quite nice. Although, having said that, Amanda, I don't think my daughter would like it very much. My daughter, she's not overly fond of, like I'm citrus obsessed. I think you all know that. I'm citrus obsessed. I love my oranges and my mandarins and lemon, you know, lemon cakes and lemon curd and yeah, anything. If there's citrus in it, I'm there, you know. But my daughter isn't the same. She tolerates it, but that's about it. Cinnamon. All right, let me have a look. No, at the moment, the recipe as it stands, I'm using cayenne pepper. Last year I threw in smoked paprika, then peppercorns, whole cloves, and allspice. But cinnamon would be quite nice. I might try adding a pinch of cinnamon though, Kirsty. I think that's a good idea. What is a wild recipe like, Amanda? As in wild tomatoes? Is that what you mean by wild recipe? So outside, I don't know how well you can see it outside. It's still a bit drizzly. All the camellias are coming out along the window there, which is nice to see. But we have had, since Sunday, we have had, and that's last Sunday, of course, 116 mil of rain. So it's a fair bit. We're getting to work through our tomatoes here, which is good to see. The allspice got it, says Kirsty. Amanda says, I was surprised by the seasonings in the ketchup. Hello, Miss M. Hello, hello, my love. Well, I guess it's a very, I don't know. I mean, I guess different countries have their own variations, which probably do change ever so slightly. I've tried a few different recipes over the years, and this is the one I ended up coming back to. So when I've tried other ones, I just haven't been quite as happy with them. How are you, Miss M? Are you feeling well? I hope you are. And I must tell you, people, something very exciting. You remember how I'm always saying, and some of you have told me from time to time, that I should write a book? Well, I've started the book. I am 16 pages into it. So I think I've done probably the first 2 chapters. And which is sort of the backstory, I guess, or setting up part of the backstory. Yay, Susan, says Miss M. And Dora says, I can't wait for the book. And Kirsty says, oh, that's amazing news, Susan. Thank you. I know. I mean, look, I've wanted to do a book for years. But I just didn't think I was a very good writer. And that was one of the reasons why I actually started writing articles for the local papers, on a volunteer basis, of course. Like, I don't get paid for any of those articles. But, you know, I write articles for 2 different publications, and it was all for the experience. Like, for me, it was for the experience. And I think I wrote my first article in 2022, I think it was. And like, I keep copies of them all, of course. And when I read through them, I can really see the progression and the improvement in my writing from the first one through to now. And I thought, yeah, look, maybe I should revisit that idea. And really, it was just the getting started that was the hardest bit. But I've started. Susan, okay, yay, Susan, can't wait. Heather! Hello, Heather, love, welcome in. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Hello, Reese. Reese is here. He says, happy Friday, everyone. Ellie Gregory's here. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you as well. Toyo says, hello, Heather and Ellie. Exploradora says, I think it's time to ask for payment. It's been a great experience and promotion for you. Yeah, look, I think you're right. Look, months ago, I wrote a letter which was going to go to the head of the umbrella company that looks after, because one of the newspapers I write for is the Mansfield Courier. And that is under the umbrella of a larger organisation, and that organisation has like another 6 or 8 newspapers under it. So I found out the name of the chief editor, or the boss, or CEO, or whatever you want to call him. And I wrote this letter, and I was going to send it to him and say, look, I've been writing for you guys for, 3 years for nothing. And I'm getting a really good fan base. I'm starting to get people writing into the newspaper to sort of leave feedback, which is a great thing. Do you think that maybe you could throw me a few dollars? Or at the very least, give me syndication. So instead of just writing the article for one newspaper, it might get put across, say, 6 of the 8, for instance. So I wrote it, and then I rewrote it, and then I rewrote it, and it's a brilliant letter. And I still haven't sent it. And I wrote it like 6 months ago. I wrote it just after Christmas, and I'm too frightened to send the letter. Sounds like the umbrella company for Resident Evil. Yes, I know Resident Evil. In fact, the finale has just come out, hasn't it? Colleen, hello, my love. So yeah, I've just got to send the letter. But it was funny. I sort of thought, what stopped me? What stopped me sending that letter was I thought, because, I enjoy writing for the Mansfield Courier. And I thought, oh, maybe this man who doesn't, because he's the head of the umbrella company, he doesn't actually live in Mansfield. I don't know where he lives, another part of Victoria somewhere. And I thought, oh no, if I draw myself to his attention, and then what will happen is he'll look at some of my articles, and what if he doesn't like them? And if he doesn't like them, he might tell the Mansfield Courier that they can't run my articles anymore. So I was so worried that, you know, if I draw too much attention to myself, it might actually be a bad thing. So I just never sent the letter. And it's silly, isn't it? You're going to tell me I need to send this letter. I would be nervous too, said Kirsty. Colleen's saying hello to foraging. It's still pretty bad, but I'm hanging in there. Oh, Colleen. I'm sorry to hear that, love. So, yeah, I haven't sent the letter. I need to send that letter. I need to send the letter, don't I? Anyway, I digress. The whole reason I started writing articles was because I wanted to be a writer, and I didn't think I was good enough to write a book. But 4 or 5 years have passed now, and I'm writing, as I said, for a couple of publications. And yeah, I think my writing has improved to that point that I can and feel confident about it. So it is called the working title. Now this is only the working title, but I'm calling it High Country Homestead, Memoirs of an Accidental Farmer. Dora has read the first chapter of this book, and it's only the draft, okay? It's only the draft. So I'm probably going to end up sending Dora the first chapter over and over and over again in the course of the next 6 months. But yeah. Hello, Steve. Hello, Joy. Hello, Lucy. Hello, all my friends. It's so wonderful to see you here. So yes, I sent the first chapter to Dora yesterday, and what it does is it sets up the backstory, or some of the backstory. So it's sort of, it touches on my childhood years and my first job, and of course my parents are mentioned, but not in a lot of depth, because I figure that throughout the book there will be things that I do, like for instance, I might do in the book, I might write about making tomato sauce and say, oh, I remember standing at my mum's knee watching her make tomato sauce, and then I could go into a story about that. Now, that's not the case. That didn't actually happen. I don't remember my mum ever making tomato sauce, but that's an example. So basically in the first chapter, I just wanted to set up how the things that influenced my life to bring me to this homestead. And then the other things will just sort of come in as, or organically, as they happen, as things come up. Nicholas! Hello, Nicholas. How are you, my love? Oh, I'm chopping tomatoes. I'm chopping up 3.5 kilos of tomatoes, Nicholas. And while I chop, I am telling everyone how I started writing my book. I've actually started writing the book that everyone's been telling me for years that I should write, and that I've wanted to write for years. I just, I didn't think I was a good enough writer. But now that I've been doing articles for a few years, I think I am a good enough writer. So I've started my book, Nicholas. Oh, Nicholas. It was fluid in your lungs, wasn't it, love? You taking lots of medications? A cookbook? No. It's called, the working title is High Country Homestead, Memoirs of an Accidental Farmer. So once I get past the beginning, which is not to say there won't be a cookbook later though, Nicholas, but I'll get this one out of the way first. Once I get past the backstory, like in the story now, I've just got to the point where I'm putting my key in the door for the first time to come into the house. So I've got all the backstory, my working life, some of my life when I was small. So it starts when I'm in high school, goes through my working life, leaving work, buying this house, and I've just got to the house and I'm putting my key in the door. So that's where I'm up to. Now, once I'm in the door and once I've spent my first night here, it's basically going to launch into proper high country homestead style writing. And it'll all be about cows and chickens and my first attempt at growing things and what worked and what didn't, and some of the characters that I've met over the years. Hello, animal lover, my dear. No, I don't think Nicholas is in hospital. I know he's not well, but I could be wrong. Hello, Chris. How are you, love? Good to see you here. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting. So, and I even wrote the blurb for the book because I thought there will be times when I'm writing that I'm probably going to, what's the word I'm after? Lose motivation, I guess. So I've written this really exciting blurb for the book that I haven't finished writing yet. And I thought if I go through a stage at any point where I lose my motivation or I lose interest, I can read the blurb and hopefully get excited by it again and get inspired by it and be able to pick up writing. So I've got the title, I've got the blurb, and I've got the first 2 chapters. Oh, okay. Nicholas was in hospital and he got out yesterday at 5 a.m. Let me just check the chat here. Brutus Origins, finally. Is Brian here? Hello, Brian. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you. So yes, for anyone who's still here, like later, I might read you the blurb for the book. It won't be the blurb for the book. By the time the book's finished, anything could have happened with it. I don't think it's going to be a romance novel, so I think we're quite safe there. But yeah. Very exciting. And the other exciting thing is today I might get my 3,000 watch hours because I need 42 watch hours I need to get to 3,000. So I might get that today. And that'll be good, because that would mean that when I do my next live, Tuesday next week, well, mind you, I don't know how long it takes to process all this stuff, but I might be able to do super chats by next week and have like members and stuff. I think that's exciting. Right. We have 3.5 kilograms of chopped tomato. Oh, you used to write poetry, Chris. I've done a few poems over the years. Not too many. I've got not last. So we're in winter now here in Australia. So it wasn't last winter. It was the winter before. I wrote a poem about winter. And somewhere, what am I looking for? And I've got this short. It was one of my really, really, really early shorts. And it didn't do particularly well, but it was something about, I can't even remember the title. It was something to do with winter, and I think I had a poem in the title, so a winter poem. And in that short, I read one verse of my winter poem that I'd written. And I wrote it to go in one of the papers. And they said they wanted it, and I wrote it and I sent it to them, and then they forgot to put it in. And by the time everyone realised that they'd forgotten to put it in, it was sort of too late, because they were already, it was a monthly publication, this one, and they wanted it to go in the last month of winter. I'll do it this way. All right. Woo! What are you making? I have brain fog. Oh, I'm doing tomato sauce, Nicholas. And I have given people the option of whether or not I do it on the wood stove once we get to that point, or on the electric cooktop. Keeping in mind, people, that if we do it on the wood stove, it will take a lot longer to do, a lot longer. Got my little... So, you know, if you're happy to spend 3.5 hours with me, we can do it on the wood stove. Ketchup, says Amanda. Yes, on your side of the world, it is ketchup. You will get that today, says Dora. What's that, love? Not many at all. Oh, the watch hours, yeah. Yes, indeed. That'll be exciting. Joy says GT bought a country home and then wrote about it for a few decades and columns in women's mags, and then turned it into 8 to 10 books. Really, Joy? Wow, that gives me hope. Can you imagine? And last week, the Mansfield Courier, or it was the week before, yeah, people are actually starting to write into the newspaper and leave comments on my articles, you know, in the for the letters to the editor section. So, and that's really nice. I've had a few of those now. Oh, onions. Gotta love chopping onions, don't you? Let me scroll to the bottom, because I'm not at the bottom. Larry, I like when you sing, Amanda. Foraging says Debbie Sue wrote a story about a whippoorwill, and I told her to have a song about a whippoorwill. I'd forgotten about it. Brian says, I like when Amanda plays and Larry sings. Oh my God, these onions. My eyes are starting to water, and I'm only on the second one. Larry is in the tune of L. Oh dear. Hey Ariana, welcome in, my love. Welcome in, welcome in. Did you get all your gardening done? Ariana was doing lots of work in the garden this morning. Well, my morning, actually, not her morning, probably. Just let the clock stop. What are we up to? Okay. Ariana is being welcomed in by everyone and is saying hello to everyone. And she says, I'm finally done. Yeah, lol, I just showered. I'm feeling dead. Ariana says, I was out from 12:30 noon to like half an hour ago. That's a long day. That's a long day. You'll sleep well tonight then, love. Oh, honestly, onions. Oh, so many onions. I was actually going to top and tail them and peel the onions well before the live, like an hour before the live, so that all the various gases and things, you know, they could all sort of dissipate. And that way, when we got to this stage, it wouldn't be quite so painful. But, you know, I ran out of time, as you tend to do. I tend to do. The funny thing is I get up so early, you know. I get up early and I think, yeah, I've got plenty of time. Got plenty of time. But that's sort of part of my problem, I think. I imagine I've got all this time when I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then, you know, I put wood in the stove, I make myself a cup of coffee, and catch up on the news of the day, make myself a cup of tea, do some more catching up, then I feed the chickens and the cows and do a few things. I think, yeah, I've still got plenty of time. And then I find I don't. Oh God, how many onions have I done? Right, I'm on the third onion. Everyone keep track for me. Ariana says, yeah, planting days kill me, but it's almost done and then I can relax and have more fun pottering around the garden and watching things grow. Yeah, that's much more fun. Oh, Brian says, read my comment above. How far above is it, Brian? I'm not seeing it. Never tried making ketchup. There must be another one. I don't see it, Brian. The one above says, never tried making ketchup. And then the one from you above that says, ha, ha, ha. So I'm not sure. Ivo, hello, love. Welcome in, my friend. How are you today? Hi, Susan. Alex checking in. Oh, so it's Alex. I've been calling you Ivo. I'm sorry. Well, hi, Alex. What was the question? What am I making? Oh, okay. Brian says put onions in the fridge and they won't make you cry when cutting them. All right. Okay. Something for future me. Oh yes, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah. Yeah, I watched that. I mean, everyone watched that, didn't they? Well, almost everyone watched that. And then Amanda says, I like to get up early, watch shows and do a little duties. Yeah. All right. Oh, I've got 2 more onions to do after this one. Okay, but we're getting there. I don't even need my glasses on, really. Well, I probably do. I'm wearing them because I'm hoping it'll help get rid of some of the stuff. Brian says, yes, put them in the fridge. You don't store them in the fridge like all the time though, do you, Brian? Just like pop them in a few hours ahead of time, or do you actually store them in there? I did. Chris says humbles. Such a shame about Anthony Stewart Head. Ariana says, I'm a late riser. I wish I could work in the morning before the sun came up. Yeah. No, I've always been a super early riser, like super early. And when I was living in Melbourne, I used to get up at 4 a.m. so I could walk to work. It was 9.7 kilometres, and I'd walk to work, and I had a big locker there. The people that sort of cycled or walked in were allowed to have extra large lockers down near the shower rooms. Okay, so that's 4 onions. And I'd get up, put my gym gear on and walk 9.4k to work, and I'd have a shower, and then I had all my work clothes in the locker. And so after my shower, I'd get into my work clothes, and then I started my day at 6 a.m. and then I worked through to 3 p.m. and then I'd go back downstairs, get back into the gym gear and walk home. Two more onions. I mean, there was the odd occasion where I didn't walk home. Sometimes I might walk, if it was a super hot day, I might just walk halfway and get the train the rest of the way. Ooh, Animal Lover has a private question for Ariana. Okay. Oh no, poor Larry. Hey Raj, welcome in, my friend. They only smell up the fridge if you have them cut. Always store the ones. Oh yes, if I have cut onions, I actually put them in a glass jar and keep that. Like anything I have that I need to store, if I have half an onion or half a lemon, anything like that, I keep jars, and I'll find a jar that it'll fit in, and I put them in jars in the fridge. So that way I'm not using plastic, and I'm not using cling film or Ziploc bags or anything like that. I mean, Ziploc bags, don't get me wrong, they're super handy, but they're probably not very good for the environment, and they're not good for our health, really. Plastics aren't good for our health, and they're expensive. You know, if you're using Ziploc bags all the time, it adds up. So yeah, I just use glass jars. I don't know if I've got any in the fridge at the moment. Only one. Yeah, so the only jar I've got in the fridge at the moment has half a lemon in it. You know, so, and it's great because you can see what's in it. You can stack them, so you can see clearly what things are within your fridge. Anyway, that's all right. I'm ranting. I'm ranting, that's the word. I'm really well, Raj. How are you? Have you been well? Oh, you're just relaxing on the couch, says Ariana, watching Susan cook and going back and forth between her and MJ. All right, such a shame. Glass jar better than plastic bag, says Brian. Absolutely. And, you know, if you have a good selection of jars in different sizes, it means it doesn't matter what you want to store. You've got a jar that's suitable. This is the last onion. Thank goodness. Ugh. Now, all these onion scraps, they're really useful. You don't throw out your scraps. Obviously, we've got some odds and sods left over from the tomatoes. Now, I have a choice there. I can either put the tomato scraps and the apple peelings, there'll be apple peelings as well. You know, you can feed them to your chickens, or you can put them in a compost bin if you've got one. But what I do with my onion skins and stuff, I have a bag which I keep in my freezer. And any scraps I have, you know, like stalks from the broccoli or the cauliflower, the skins from the onions, all of that, all of those scraps, you can put them in a bag in the freezer. And then next time you're making like chicken stock, you want to make homemade stock, you can grab out your bag of scraps and you add it to your stock that you're making. Oh, thank goodness it's the last onion. I tell you, after this, I think I'm going to have to blow my nose, wash my hands, and sort of center myself. That's the word. Recenter myself. Oh, okay. I'm going to find a hanky. Oh, I don't have one. Okay. Hang on. Don't mind me. Onions, they get me every time. All right. The skins give a lovely colour. Yes. Brian says we compost all of our scraps. I compost a lot, but there's a lot that I don't compost as well, you know. The chickens get some, and then, yeah, some of it, especially if you're sort of you're heading into like soup season, for instance. Then I start collecting things for the soups, for the stocks, because I mean, you can't really compost. They do say that you shouldn't put too much onion into your compost bins, and you can't feed onion to chickens either. So there's certain things that I can quite happily put away in the freezer to make stock with. And onion skins and the outer skins and things, you know, they add a great depth of flavour to your stock. Flowers are really good for that, JB. All right, let's have a look here. We all need some self-care time, Ariana. Yeah, we do. We all do. Kirsty recently, she put out a video, and I'm sure she saw the comment that I left, and she'd been going through a period where she just needed to have a bit of a break. And we all have those times where things can get overwhelming. And I said to her, after I watched the video, and I said, I so needed this right now. Where have I put the scales? Oh, there they are. Because, yeah, it can get overwhelming easily, you know. as a single parent on a big farm, it's easy to let things get on top of you. You don't always have someone to talk to when things go wrong, you know, so you don't have someone to sort of bounce ideas off or bounce solutions off. If you get into financial trouble, it's not like you've got a partner who can sort of pick up a bill or something like that. So, yes, yeah, sometimes life can get overwhelming for all of us. And Kirsty put out this fantastic video on things you can do to sort of help look after yourself when you're feeling that way. It was a really good video, Kirsty, too. So if you haven't seen that video, Kirsty, make sure you tag yourself there, won't you, love? Oh, hang on. I won't put that in there yet. I need to know how much I'm putting in. Now, even apple peels, I've put them in my stock pot bag in the freezer. I mean, some soups even have apples in them, you know. So with the apples, I'm actually not putting them straight into the pot. I'm weighing them because I want to see how much I've got, because every year this recipe tends to get tweaked a little bit. So I want to know where I'm at with it. Because some years you might end up doing something accidentally and think, wow, I should have done that ages ago. Oh, you're so welcome. It was a brilliant video, Kirsty. I mean, look, all your videos are brilliant. I know I don't get to comment on all of them, but I do tend to watch them on TV at night. Like during the day, well, you know, during the day I'm busy. I'm either doing farm stuff or YouTube stuff on my laptop. And really the only time I have to really just sit down and relax and watch videos that I want to watch is in the evening. So we pop it on and we've had our dinner and I'm sitting there with a glass of water and hopefully a slice of cake. And yeah, we get to watch them then. Then of course it means at some point I need to try at least to get back across and onto the laptop and leave a comment. Hey Louie, welcome in, sweetheart. Good to see you. Louie says, good evening, Susan and everyone else in chat. Joy is saying hello to Louie. Brian is saying hello to Louie. Kirsty's saying hello to Louie. Ariana says, at least you get it off your chest. And she's talking to Animal Lover there. Oh, Louis says, I just gave you a like. Thank you so much, sweetheart. How many have we got? We got 26 likes. That is lovely. Thank you so much. Hello, CL. Welcome in, my friend. 26 likes is nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I was saying earlier, for those of you who have just come in, I might actually get my 3,000 watch hours today. Whoops. There's a bit of apple that needs to be in there, doesn't it? So that'll be good. That'll be exciting to get the 3,000 watch hours. It's a milestone, you know, and it's always nice to reach a milestone. It's encouraging, or it is for me at least. I hope you do, says Ariana. Thank you, sweet. Me too. I mean, I'm not sure. When did I start? I think I made my 2 years. My 2 years was in, was it April? Dora, do you know? Does anyone know? I think my channel was 2 years in April. I'm pretty certain. So it's taken me 2 years and 4 months, really. And that's okay. I don't mind that. Everything is a progression. Everything has to evolve. Yay, says Amanda. Yes, you said April. Yeah, I thought it was. Ariana says yes, and then going from 3K to the final 4K seems to happen quicker. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess it would do though, because I mean, 3K is 3K, isn't it? It's 3 lots of 1,000. So it would take longer to get there. And then of course you only need to get 1,000. So it would seem longer. Shorter. It's all right, don't mind me. I think I'm just being overwhelmed by the excitement and the fumes from the onions. All right, so we've got about 250 grams of apples at this point, which are in, well, they're in the scales at the moment, on the scales. Oh, have fun in nature is awesome, says CL. Yes. Yes, yes, it is. I'm a little bit behind, although I have been on the channel. I was in a couple of lives, I think. But the last video I watched, actually, I'm lying. The last video was actually Brian with his scallops. Oh, they look so good. But I've got a list. I've got a list of channels, and I try and make sure that I watch all of them. But I've got a little bit behind the last couple of weeks. And now, of course, I've decided I'm going to try and write a book as well. I'm even more time poor. That's okay. Keeps me off the streets, as they say. Oh, hello. Brian Drums is here as well. Hello, Brian. Good to see you. Now we've got 2 Brians in the chat. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my love. I hope you've been keeping well, have you, Brian Drums? Brian Drums. If you're into music and you're into drumming, check out his channel. Very talented musician. Very talented. Oh, no, that's okay, dear. You're not annoying me, love. You're good. And that's Animal Lover that was directed to, so you're good. Yeah, CL says nobody can watch everything, do what keeps you balanced. Yeah. That's true. That's true. That's true. Meow. Oh. She's meowing because she gets fed at 10:30 in the morning. She's already had 1 feed today. Her first feed was at 6:30. And then she gets fed again. Well, they all do. They all get fed at 6:30. Don't like that one. And then they get fed again at 10:30, and then at 2:30, and then at 6:30 and 10:30. Pepper has issues with food and, you know, vomiting. Sorry to have to say that while I'm preparing food. But yeah, she really sort of throws the food back with great enthusiasm. And, you know, if I just leave her to her own devices, she just is It's not pretty. It's not pretty. So what I do is I feed all of them a little bit at 4-hourly intervals. So that way they don't get a chance to overeat. And at the moment, Pepper's telling me that, I'm sorry, it's 10:34 and you haven't fed me yet. So the moment the clock ticks over, she knows and she says, excuse me, Mum, you got to feed me. Here's a tissue, Susan. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. Brian says, Amanda, Larry needs a drum set. Well, if he gets a drum set, Amanda, make sure he watches Brian drums. Ariana says, meow. And Amanda says, cats say now. Yeah, she certainly does. Katie's Kitchen. Hello, love. How are you today? I hope you're well. It's good to see you. Katie's Kitchen says she's saying now, now. That's exactly what she's doing. Now, feed me now. Oh, look, animals are funny, aren't they? All right, I think after this, we've just got one more apple to go. We're almost up to 500 grams of chopped apples. Now, once we get that 500 grams, we're going to plop them in the pot there. Yeah, we'll do one more. That one's got a bruise. We'll use this one. Hello, Indiana Funny Farm. Yes, yes, Katie, I did grow these apples. I did use some of them in a cake, but these were the leftovers. Veggie stock cubes, yes. Coffee Mama, hello love. Hello Susan, can't stay but wanted to give you a like and say hello. Oh, thank you so much. I hope you're well. I'm hoping to get my 3,000 watch hours today, so that'll be exciting. All right. Is this the last apple? I reckon it will be. Everyone's saying hi to everyone, which is lovely to see. We have such a great community. I love this community. Oh, that's nice. All right. Almost there. We're one line away from 500 grams. Oops, there's a pip. Didn't mean to throw that in there. Right, 500 grams of chopped apples. They are going to go in this huge and heavy pot. Now in here we have 3.5 kilograms of chopped tomatoes and 6 chopped brown onions, quite large brown onions too. To that we are going to add 500 grams of chopped apples. So in they go. Done. And even that piece, it didn't want to go. So that is good. Wow, you need some of this ketchup, Indiana, says Amanda. I can do ketchup, says Indiana Funny Farm. The queen of potatoes, says Amanda. And Nicholas says, I love applesauce. Applesauce is yum. Okay. Looks like a year's supply of ketchup. Yes, that is the idea. There's certain things I try to do a year's supply of. One is tomato sauce or ketchup. The sweet chili jam, for any of you that remember a few months ago, I did a live where I made some sweet chili jam. I like to have a year's supply of that. I also like to have a year's supply of caramelized onion, and we'll be doing the caramelized onion sometime in the next few weeks. With these Saturday lives, we always tend to make a food, and what I try and do is something savory one week and something sweet the next. So today we are doing tomato sauce. Next week, I did have a plan for next week. I don't know what it was now, but the following week, we have had a special request to make pea and ham soup. So next, either a cake or some form of, or brownies. That was it. I was going to make chocolate brownies next Saturday. And then the one after that, for the next savory time slot, we're making pea and ham soup because it has been especially requested. Someone wrote to me on Messenger through the High Country Homestead Facebook page and requested pea and ham soup. So that's what we're making. We're doing pea and ham soup. All right, so tomatoes, apples, onion. All right, next we have to do the sugar. 3 cups of sugar. Right, let me get a cup and let me get the sugar. The little up on the pantry shelf I have jars with sugar and things like that, and yesterday I made a cake and I used all the sugar in my smaller jar, so I've had to grab off the floor of the pantry my big sugar bucket. Ugh, and it's very heavy because it's full. I also have like big buckets of rice, salt, oats, and things like that because I like to buy things in bulk when I can. Let me just double check. It was 3, wasn't it? 3 cups of sugar. All right, so the first cup of sugar goes in. I also have big buckets of white bread flour and wholemeal bread flour. All right, second cup is in. And then third cup is also in. So there we go. 3 cups of sugar. Let me get this big bucket back in the pantry. Right. Let me see what the chat is up to. Is Ace here? Ew, it's all sticky. It's all sticky from the apples. Might wash my hands. Hello, Ace. Welcome in, my friend. I'm just getting the stickiness off. All right. Susan's the sugar plug. I'm a plug? Says Jason. Okay. It can be a superpower animal. It can be a superpower. That's right. It can be a superpower. Everyone is saying hello to Ace, yes. And Chris is saying, how are you tonight, Amanda? Ace of Spades, says Amanda. You want to ship some ketchup to us? Oh, look, we'll see. We'll see, Brian. I have my flour. Why did I read that as floor? I have my flour, sugar, and cornmeal in big tubs. Yeah, yeah. Me, says Nicholas. Notification settings have changed in Australia. Oh, have they? Okay. And rice, 5-gallon buckets. Well, that big bucket that you saw there, that is a 20-litre bucket. I'm not sure what that is in gallons, but 20 litres in Australia. And I've got a whole heap of them, and they're all full. All right. All right, let's get back to this recipe. So, tomatoes, apples, onions, sugar is now in the pot, and we have to add vinegar. Now, the vinegar we add is malt vinegar. Malt vinegar. Okay. How's this oven going? All right. It's backwards, of course, but that says Cornwall's malt vinegar. And we need to add 4 cups of malt vinegar. So, one, 2, 3, 4. 4 cups of malt vinegar is now in. Hey, is Chef Sivy here? Hello, love. You love malt vinegar? Yeah, me too. Well, it's so handy, isn't it, vinegar? You can clean with it, you can cook with it. All right, now to the spices, my friends. Salt. Start with salt. We're going to have cayenne pepper. There it is. Okay. I'll get my little salt box here. Have a look at my little salt box. Isn't it cute? Art Deco. Beautiful old thing. Anyway, I digress. Let me get that out of the way. Sorry, this is getting very heavy now, and I can't really even tip it that much, but you can see in here We've got 500 grams of apple, 3.5 kilo of tomato, 6 brown onions, got and 4 cups of malt vinegar. Now to that, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of salt. So hopefully you can still see me. So that's 1 tablespoon. Right. 2 tablespoons of salt are in. The next thing we are going to add is 1/2 to 1 tablespoon of cayenne pepper. 1/2 to 1 tablespoon. Well, I like things a bit spicy, so that's 1/2, and we'll do another 1/2. So we're basically doing 1. Sorry, I said tablespoon there, didn't I? I meant to say teaspoon. So I've put in 1 teaspoon, sorry, of cayenne pepper. I'm also going to put in 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Actually, no, I won't. I'll put in 1/2 of 1. 1/2 of 1 is smoked paprika. Oh, sorry, Chef Sivi, I'm making tomato sauce, which is ketchup for you. I like to do, like I was saying earlier, I like to do like a year's supply. So this is like a year's supply, hopefully. Apple is a great thickener, Ariana, says Chef Sivi. Lots of cayenne, yes. If I missed anything, I apologize. I was driving. No, you're good, aren't we? Right. Ariana says, right, that too, apple is natural pectin. Yes, yes, it is. Same for crab apples. That's exactly right. Do I jar it? Yes. It will be going into the jars are in the oven, but I haven't switched the oven on yet. I need to probably get onto that. All right. So this is a jar out of the fridge that I have some remnants of sweet chili jam in. So these jars are what I'm going to be putting it into. I've got 6 of these and 2 smaller jars for any sort of leftovers. So, and they're in the electric oven. Now those jars that I showed you, they are 500 grams or 1/2 a litre each. So I'm hoping to make about, if I'm lucky, this recipe should give me between 3 and 4 litres of tomato sauce. M-Bug! Hello, love. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. How are you, M-Bug? All right, so we have put our salt, 2 tablespoons of salt. We've put in 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1/2 a teaspoon of smoked paprika. So I better put that down so I remember for next time. 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns. All right, let me find the peppercorns. All right, peppercorns. And we want a teaspoon. So there is our 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns. In it goes. God, I love peppercorns. Such a wonderful thing. And then what else do we need? A teaspoon of allspice and a teaspoon of whole cloves. Oh, allspice. All right. All right, all right, all right. And once we've put this in, folks, that's it. It goes onto the stove. And we get to sit and relax ever so slightly. Let me get the top off this. Are we still live? Hopefully we're still live. Yes, we're still live. We're back. Katie, says Ambog. All right. So I'm using the ½ teaspoon because the whole teaspoon won't fit in the jar. So that is allspice. We want a teaspoon of it. So allspice is in. And then we want whole cloves. If I can get the lid off. Meow. Oh, wow, they're pungent. All right, so it's going to be annoying. Have I got a little baggie to put them in? I don't have a baggie to put them in. So I'm just going to have to fish them all out later. How many do I want? A whole teaspoon of them. 2 teaspoons. That's going to be a lot to fish out, isn't it? But I've done it before. I've done it before. Joy says, can someone tell me if Duracell batteries from 2001 could be expected to work? Oh. Yeah, look, I mean, it depends how it was fine. Oops. Oh, are we back? Are we back? All right, now I just found out this morning too that this is a long weekend, so we might end up having a few problems. Because Mount Buller, which is the ski resort, it's the official opening of Mount Buller, and so lots and lots of tourists have come up. So if we start having heaps of trouble with the stream, I might have to end it, but we'll see how we get on. We have 34 in the house and 34 thumbs up. Thank you everyone for the thumbs up if you've given me one so far. Now, Joy, do you have like a battery tester? All right, I'm going to put in 1 loose teaspoon of cloves, which means I'll have to fish them out later. It's going to be, no, look, I'll do 2. It is supposed to be 2, and I'll just have to fish them out later. Right, so people, now for the really exciting part. You get to tell me, do we put it slower than I would have liked? we're going to cheat. What we'll do is we'll start it off on the electric stove and then we'll move it across. I'll get my big spoon. Use that one. And we'll give it a mix and we'll give it a stir. Got to mix all those spices in. And then I'll bring it over and show you all how, oops, you can't even see me, can you? There we go, turn you around. So yes, I'm mixing it all up now. Mixing all the spices and the vinegar and all that sort of thing. Mixing it all up. Now I'll bring it over and try it and show you what it looks like. I don't like tipping the camera because when I do that, it gets a bit upset. But you can sort of see in there how we're getting on. And now we'll put it on the electric stove, I think. Oops. I wasn't planning on using the electric stove, so of course I've put stuff on it. Get that out of the way, put that there. So we're going to start it off on the electric stove. Now what we need to do is bring it to a boil. So it's on full. We're going to pop the lid on. We're going to pop the lid on. And then, while that's doing its thing, I'm going to try and get this wood stove cranking a bit more because I'd rather not use the electric stove if I could help it. Oh, yes, I do, Nicholas. The skipping girl sign. Yeah, for sure, I do. No, you're all good. You're all good, animal lover. Ariana loves you lots, so you'll be fine. All right, now, wood stove. It's not doing quite what I wanted yet. You can see there's some flame in there. But because I've been concentrating on what I'm doing and not concentrating on the stove, it's not quite as hot as I would have liked. There you go, you can see a bit better. Can you hear it crackling? All right. Now, hopefully that will get going now. Oh, okay. I can see some of the problem. Now, do you remember a few weeks ago I did a live where I cleaned the wood stove? Oh, you're tired, Chef Sibby. Oh, honey, I'm sorry to hear that. At least it's the end of the week for you, though. Hopefully you can have a bit of a relaxing weekend, my love. Ariana says, I haven't had my dinner yet. I'm hot, starving and in pain. I just don't have the bandwidth tonight. Oh. So, yes, the other week I cleaned the wood stove on a live. And one of the things I said to you all was that under the wood box is the ash bin that collects, or the ash tray. And you need to have the ashtray reasonably empty for airflow. So you can see here that ash is fairly well piled up and it's blocking the airflow. So we'll empty this. And that will work much better now because it'll be able to draw more fire in the bottom, which will go up through the firebox and through the flames to help generate extra heat. Oh, is Lucy going? Lucy is going. Thank you so much, Lucy, for coming in. I do appreciate it. And I hope you sleep well, my love. Must be very late where you are, Lucy. Hello, Alexander. Welcome in, my friend. M Bug says, I love your kitchen. I keep saying it. I know it's a great kitchen though, isn't it? I'm so lucky. I'm so blessed. Amanda says, if I bend over like that in front of Larry, he will take a cheap shot. Okay. Well, I think for the time being, I can do a little bit of a cleanup and maybe even, yeah, I think there's enough water in that for a cuppa. Put the lid back on that. Now I will be putting this recipe, as I said, in the description. What we have used: 3.5 kilo of tomatoes chopped, 500 grams of apples peeled and chopped, 6 onions, 3 cups of sugar, 4 cups of malt vinegar, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of allspice, 2 teaspoons of whole cloves, and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. Now, the last time I made this, I said that it made 3.5 litres of tomato sauce, or ketchup, if you would rather call it ketchup. So yeah, 3. That should last me a year, shouldn't it? With any luck. Now, what have I got to tell you? Oh, yeah, okay. Hang there. I'm coming, I'm coming. So, High Country Homestead, Memoirs of an Accidental Farmer. This is the first 2 chapters of my book. Well, it's probably only 1 chapter really. But yeah, and then on the front, I've also written, this bit here on the front is like the blurb for the book. So if ever I have a moment where I lose interest in writing or have a mental block or something like that, if I lose the enthusiasm, basically, the plan is I'll read my blurb and it will just infuse me with all this enthusiasm and I'll be able to keep writing. That's the theory, anyway. lover. Don't worry, dear. Ariana loves you, and she said that she'd give you a message and a hug. It's all good, love. It really is. We all love you, and Ariana loves you lots and lots and lots. And M Bug loves my clock. Thank you, M. Your manuscript is exciting. Yeah. Let's hope so. So I can read you the blurb. Now keep in mind, this isn't going to be the blurb on the actual book when it comes out. This was just something to keep me focused, I suppose. But do you want me to read you the blurb? Just the blurb. I can read you the blurb. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. Dora says, animal lover, everyone is loved here. And that's right, animal lover. Everyone's loved here. We all love you and everything's good. Oh, Ariana, she's getting her dinner finally. That's good. Amanda says, yes, animal lover, we all love you. There's nothing wrong, but Ariana needs to rest tonight. Yeah, she's just tired. She's just tired. Oh, it sounds like this is starting to come to a boil. Let me check. Almost. Almost, almost. And my kettle's starting to come to a boil, so we've almost got the wood stove at the right temperature too. So once the wood stove is good, we can move it across from the electric stove over to there. So let me read you the blurb. All right, so the blurb reads thusly. What do you do when the life you've built no longer feels like the life you're meant to live? After 25 years at the ABC, Susan found herself asking exactly that question. Raised in a city and orphaned young and armed with little more than determination and a healthy sense of humour, she spent a lifetime collecting experiences she never imagined would one day prove useful. For years, she talked about making a change. For years, she found reasons not to do it. And then one afternoon, sitting at her desk, she realised she had been waiting for the perfect moment far too long. Before she could change her mind, she picked up the phone and called an estate agent. And by that evening, the house was on the market. 6 weeks later, it was sold. And there was just one small problem. She still had no idea where she was going to live. Then her 6-year-old daughter pointed at a photograph of a snow-covered farmhouse hidden in the mountainous alpine region of Victoria. Within weeks, Susan found herself owner of a remote high-country homestead, more than 4 hours from Melbourne, complete with sweeping mountain views, endless paddocks, and responsibilities she was entirely unqualified for. The farm was so far from the city that commuting was impossible, leaving her with no choice but to resign from the only workplace she'd ever known. What followed was a journey filled with triumphs, disasters, steep learning curves, unexpected friendships, wandering livestock, spectacular scenery, hard lessons, lots of tears, and plenty of laughter. Part memoir and part rural adventure, and part accidental guide to self-sufficient living. High Country Homestead, Memoirs of an Accidental Farmer, is the story of discovering that sometimes the biggest changes begin with a single decision, a pointed finger, and a willingness to leap before you know where you're going to land. She thought she was buying a house, but instead she found an entirely new way of living. That is the blurb for my book. And now that I read it out loud, it's actually incredibly long. Yes, Dora has read the first chapter and she loved it. She loved it. Ariana says she knows she's loved. Yes, I'm sure she does too. It's great, Susan. You are a great writer and your life is interesting and inspiring. Thank you, Dora. No, animal lover, everyone has said that they love you. We all love you. It's all good. Everyone has said they love you. It's all right, my sweetheart. No mucking around with Susan when she gets an idea. Yeah, I am, Ariana. I started it on Wednesday. So 2 or 3 days ago. I always wanted to write a book. I just didn't think I was a very good writer. But then in 2022, that was when I started writing for newspapers and things. And so I've sort of learnt to, well, I've improved a lot since then. And now I think I've got to a stage where I feel confident in what I write, and I feel confident to be able to relay a story and hold people's interest. So I thought I need to make a start. Because again, you know how I was just saying there how I always found excuses not to sell the house, quit my job and move. Like, I loved my job. I was there for 25 years. I loved my job. But in the end, I just felt like I needed something a little bit different. I wanted to grow vegetables. I wanted to be more connected to nature. I wanted to have more responsibility and more control over the food that I eat. So I wanted to be able to grow my food and preserve my own food, make my own stuff and all that sort of thing. So I wanted to leave my job and basically go to a place where I had more space. I just wasn't expecting quite this much space. But it took me a long time to get the courage to make that leap. And I go into that in the book. You know, I could always find excuses not to do it. I'll just pay off the credit card. I'll just finish renovating the house. I'll just pay off the car loan. And then I realised I'd been doing that for like a decade, saying, oh, I'll just do this, I'll just do that, I'll just do something else. And they were all real things. They were all real things. I did have to pay off a car loan. I did have to do those things, but there was nothing that could have really, I could have taken the leap beforehand and taken some of the elements of my life that needed to be fixed with me, but I was using them as an excuse not to do it. And I realized the other week that I was sort of doing the same with the book. I was finding excuses not to start it, but I don't have any excuses now. I think I am a half decent writer, and I think I can write a good book, and I have no excuses not to do it. So I'm doing it. So there we go. Another rave for you all. Write what you know. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've had lots of adventures in life. It's how to tie it together. Yeah, for sure. Alexander says, I used to hate writing, but as I get older, I tend to write sometimes when I don't really have to. I have always enjoyed reading. Yes, I love reading too. I do. Ariana says, I am horrible writing dialogue. Maybe that goes back to my own autism and not being very talkative most of my own life. My God, really? Ariana, you don't have any problem with that now? I watch Ariana in front of the camera on her YouTube lives and she's just amazing. Hey, Raj is saying hello to everyone. There's a few more people have come in. I read you on Buy Me a Coffee, but I didn't know how to leave a comment, says Amanda. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think there is, Look, I struggle with Buy Me a Coffee. I find it a bit of a clunky platform, but in terms of being able to get my articles out there, it's great. There is a button somewhere if you search for it, and I'm not going to tell you where to find it because half the time I can't find it, but somewhere on my Buy Me a Coffee page, there's two buttons you can select. If you were to make a donation, you would have to select the support button. But you don't need to do that. There's another button that just says follow. Now, if you follow me in Buy Me a Coffee, every time I upload an article, which is fortnightly, so I upload one on the 1st and the 15th of every month. So every time I upload an article, there's a little box that I can tick that says email to followers. So if you can find the follow button and you select it, it means from that point on, you wouldn't even really have to go in to Buy Me a Coffee. What would happen is that every time I upload it, it will just email into your inbox. And then you never have to go in to Buy Me a Coffee again. It'll just turn up on your inbox every 2 weeks. Right, that's happening, that's happening. I need coffee. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Oh. It's still not boiling yet, but I can make coffee. So yes, we've sort of gone slightly off topic today, but hopefully that doesn't matter too much. I mean, that's the great thing about lives, especially our lives, isn't it? Because we're just friends sitting around in the kitchen, keeping each other company while we do some cooking or do some baking or something like that. Now, because this is a savoury week, next week we're making chocolate brownies. And the week after, we're back to savoury. And I had someone made a special request for me to make pea and ham soup. Actually, I might put some more water in that, I think. It's getting a bit light. All right. It's almost at the boiling. Once it starts boiling, what the plan is to move it back to the wood stove. Let me have a look here. Alexander says, I need to go eat, but I'll keep listening to the live. Thank you, Alexander. I hope you have a wonderful meal. Kirsty has put up my Buy Me a Coffee. Start with a chapter. A chapter is a little book. That's right, Amanda. Well, so far I think I've done 2 chapters. So I've done all the backstory now from my high school years through to the point of putting the key in the door. So I've driven up the driveway, and you know that wooden gate down there where on our walk and talks we go through the wooden gate in the drive. So we've come through the wooden gate, got to the house, I've put my key in the door, haven't opened it yet, but that's where I'm up to. So, but it's only the first draft. What I'm hoping is that I will have the entire book, the first draft thereof, completed by Christmas. We'll see. We'll see. That might happen. It might not happen. But I do hope I can get that done by Christmas. And then in 2027, it will probably get a rewrite, and then it will get another rewrite, and then it will get another rewrite, and then we'll see what happens. Amanda says, I have a shirt that says I talk to myself because of YouTube. That is a good shirt. I like that. I like that. Ariana says, definitely better now than I was though. And YouTube has helped me a lot to grow. Yes, me too. I mean, any of you guys who were here back in the day, like when I first started, like Dora can remember me, and maybe even Nicholas too. I was so scared about putting my face on camera. And I think, my God, what do I say to people? You know, what do I say to people? I don't know what to say to people. I can't do that. Well, look at me now. You put a camera in front of me, turn it on, and I don't shut up. So it has, YouTube has helped me and given me a lot of confidence. So I'm sure there's a few of us that sort of slot into that, under that heading. Ariana says, I still have trouble writing and knowing what a normal dialogue would look like between people. And everything's an experience, love. We're all evolving. We're all evolving our whole lives to you know, our 90s and beyond. For as long as we're alive, we are constantly evolving. Every day we learn something, even if it's something about ourselves or something in the kitchen or something about a tree or a plant or an animal, but we're learning something. Every day we learn something, and you'll get there. You'll get there, Ariana. M-Bug says, I'm going to leave the live running. Okay. Oh, and Chris is going as well. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, M-Bug, so much. If you haven't given it a thumbs up, please consider doing so. That would be great before you go. I'd love that. We are up to 36. Are we? 36 thumbs up. And I am hoping to get my 3,000 watch hours today too, so that'll be exciting. Then we can have super chats and members and stuff like that. Oh, Ariana says, I remember your face reveal. That was funny. I told everyone I was going to show my face, and I was going to show my face at the 50-minute mark of my very first live stream. And all these people came in to my very first live stream because I've never done a live before. And cats. That was a lamp. We've just lost a lamp. So anyway, back to this live stream, my very first live stream, and I was going to show my face for the very first time. And I told everyone, when I get to the 50-minute mark, I will show my face. And everything was going really well. And we were sitting out the front like we do. And it got to the 48-minute mark. And I was getting everyone worked up and said, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Do you want to see my face? And everyone's going, yeah, do it. And then my battery ran out on my phone. Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh no. And of course, pretty much everyone thought that I'd done it on purpose. I said, no. And that's why I have a battery pack now. So that was the only time I tried to do a live without a battery pack. And that was the day that I discovered that it only goes for 48 minutes. Now, look at this. Oh, it's boiling. Right. Where's my timer? Where's my timer? So now it's boiling. We're going to move it back over to the wood stove. We'll turn this one off. Now, let me see. behind in the chat. Let me catch up. Way funny. Yeah, you remember that live, Dora? Okay, chat, let's listen to Susan, please. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. Ariane is saying you tease. Oh, Ariana says that's why I've got a bunch of the battery packs. Yeah, look, they're great. They're great. I would be lost without the battery pack. And they're so handy, you know, like when power goes out and stuff like that too, you know. So, yes, indeed. All right. Well, the only bad thing... No, you're not a bad person, animal lover. You're all right, love. It's all good. It's all good. Now, the only thing about this is I don't think you're going to get to see it all jarred up because it's going to have to boil. We're almost up to 2 hours now on this live, and it's got to sit and simmer. So worst case scenario, we are going to be posting some photos to my community page later. Either that or I do a second live when I'm jarring it up, just a little short one, like 15 minutes. But in the meantime, I do have coffee. I have coffee. And you know what else I have? I have cake. No, honey, you're all right, love. You're all right. I made cake yesterday. I've already eaten so much of it. Let me show you. It was banana and chocolate chip. And it was that long, just yesterday. Although I've had some and my daughter's had some. And then yesterday Kevin came up and it was raining, so we didn't get any work done. But he still had some cake, had lunch. So I think I deserve some cake. So I'll put that there, put that there, put that there. I mean, I deserve cake, don't I? I've cut one slice and then I've cut the slice in half. So I'm having half a slice of cake because I can. Oh, yeah. It will be done later. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's very nice. Now, I wonder if I can take you outside. Yes, I do. I really do. Don't mind me. I stand here eating in front of you all. It smells lovely. Very vinegary still at this point. Oh, you know, I don't know if I can take you outside because the entire kitchen bench is absolutely covered. We might have to do a bit of a cleanup. We'll do a bit of a cleanup. Cake is my friend, says Amanda. Yes, cake is my friend too. I absolutely agree. So I put all the onion scraps into here. I don't even think this is going to be big enough. There's some of the onion scraps. Now these onion scraps are useful for making homemade stock. Nothing gets wasted. It either goes to chickens, compost, or into the stock pile. And then we've got all the apple scraps. And I might give the apples. So I'll put some of it into the stock bag, but that's all the scraps from the tomato sauce. So I need to put that somewhere where the cats won't get to it. Where will I put it? I'll just hide it down here for the moment. I'll put it in the cupboard because I know that the cats can't get into the cupboard. 38 likes. Thank you. Wonderful. Dora, have you worked out how to use your dishwasher now? I was giving Dora tips on the best way to use dishwashers. I'll put away the potato peeler because the cats will want to have that as well. And I'll put that back in the fridge. There we go. Oh, it's a bit dark now, isn't it? I'll turn the light back on. All right. Yes, that's all looking good. I've got to hide that. I definitely got to hide that. I'll put this spoon up there. We're almost ready, folks, and then we can go outside for a little bit and have a look at the world and see how it's looking. Now, I don't think there's really anything up here now that the cats would eat, except perhaps just the tiniest bit of tomato. I'll wipe that up. All right, I think we're set. Suppose it's cold outside too, is it? 6 degrees. Right, it's 6 degrees outside. Hey, Chinchinuts. Hello, my love. How are you today? We're making tomato sauce or tomato ketchup. There it is. Huge pot of it. And theoretically, it will make 3.5 to 4 litres of tomato ketchup, which will do us for the whole year. But now that that's sitting there, we are going to go and spend a little bit of time on the front veranda. So let me put my my battery pack in my pocket. Ooh, there we go. Almost fits. Almost. Oh, it's a smaller pocket, that one. Can I do it? Can I do it? All right. And we'll go for a little bit of a walk out the front. Hopefully I won't drop the battery pack. I'm really paranoid I'm going to drop it. I need to put it in my other pocket. The other pocket is bigger, you see. So I had something in that pocket. So if I empty that pocket, and then I can put the battery pack whoop, in there. There we go. Now we're set. Now we're set. Now we can go for a walk. Okay. Shall we go, my friends? I'll turn you around so you get to look at my messy, messy kitchen. And we'll head out this way, ignoring all the mess, because that's what we do. Oops. I try really hard not to spill my coffee. to look at Kevin the rooster. Open this door, open that door, and then I pick up my cuppa. We're getting there, folks. Kick the fly screen open, put my cup of coffee there, and then I shut the doors. All right. Oh, yeah. Oh, lovely sweater tonight. Thank you, Neil. Oh, Marichub. Hello, Marichub. Welcome in, my love. Haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. I hope you're well. And thank you, Neil. I love this sweater too. It's a very nice one. I mean, I love all Christmas colours on there. Reds and greens. And there's the world. That's how it's looking. And we will go back into the kitchen, of course, and check things out. But I just thought I'd bring you out and let you see how it's looking. It has stopped raining briefly. You can see by the clouds, it is only briefly. You see all the drip trays there, they're all full. I had to move all my pot plants because they were drowning. But yeah, they're all full of water. I wonder if this seat is still wet. On Tuesday, I couldn't do my walk and talk last week because it was pouring. But it ended up being a very interesting live all the same. D-Man, hello, welcome in. How are you, D-Man? Hello, everyone. Does anyone hate tomatoes but love tomato sauce, tomato soup and ketchup like me? Well, it's funny you should say that, D-Man. I love tomato sauce and I love the smell of tomato soup. I do not like the taste of tomato soup, not at all, but I love the smell of it. Oh, Ariana says, I cannot get over how beautiful your property is. Thank you, my love. Thank you. It's a beautiful spot. Oh, Ariana says, shh, don't tell my mum I put the AC on. Ariana says, I'm feeling so feverish and I overheated. I need to cool myself off. Keep your fluids up, love. Have you got enough fluids? And also in the freezer, I mean, I don't know what you would call them over there. We get these things, they're sort of called tubes. We call them tubes. And it's basically like an ice long tube. And I always keep those in the freezer, especially in the warmer months, because sometimes you'll be outside working on the farm and, you know, you've got like a 20-minute break and it's just so hot. And you have one of these icy poles, for want of a better word, and they cool you down so quickly. Popsicles, yes, that's them, popsicles. I can hear cows. Can you hear the cows? But yeah, do you have any, Ariana, in your freezer? Yes, I'm drinking non-stop. I'm really glad to hear that. Ariana says, I love tomato soup. It's a comfort food. No, I haven't got the puppy yet, D-Man. That clip, and you're right, it was blurry, but it's the only clip I had, and I promised people I was going to show them the puppy. That was sent to me by the breeder, and in that clip, which was taken like a week and a half ago, the puppy was 5 weeks old, I think. I think he's probably 6 weeks old now. So he will come here when he gets to 8 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks, he will come here. So, and we were meant to have a play date with him last week. Like, we were so excited. There's the cows. I'll show you the cows. The lady who bred him, she was going to be visiting a friend of hers that only lives around the corner from here. And she said, since I'm coming up, how about I drop him off at your place and you can have him up there for, 3 or 4 hours. And then when I'm leaving my friends, I'll come and pick him up and take him back home. And we thought, yeah, that'll be so much fun. And it rained and rained and rained. And she was meant to come up on the Monday to bring him. And then it started raining on Saturday night and it just didn't stop. It didn't stop. It rained all of Saturday night, all day Sunday, all night Sunday into Monday. And then it rained on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. And today's the first day the rain has actually stopped. Coco, you're 5 years old. Stop trying to get milk off your mum. Honestly. Cows. That's the same thing I did with Looney when I was waiting for her since I missed that. The chat is going so quickly. But yeah, no, it was handy. And like she said, she'll probably come up this coming week. Because it was so wet, she didn't want to come up here either to visit her friend. It was a horrible day. Yes, that's right. Ariana says their eyes are open more, and the first 5 weeks are spent primarily with their mums. Yeah. So hopefully this coming week, I think we've got a couple of days. Like it's not meant to rain much today, although it might rain tonight. And I think tomorrow's meant to be sunny, but we'll see. So if tomorrow's sunny, maybe she'll come up tomorrow. And if that's the case, then if she comes up tomorrow, then we might have the dog tomorrow for a few hours. And believe me, if she brings the dog up tomorrow, we're definitely doing an extra live. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the video was rather blurry. It was such a cute video. It would have been great if it wasn't blurry, but it's blurry. So let me turn you around. We'll pop you here. There we go. 8 weeks is the perfect time. Yeah. And look, I'd be quite happy, D-Man, for him to stay with his mum to 10 weeks. Like the owner has said, she said, if you don't want to take him at the 8-week mark, she's quite happy to keep him for longer. And, I as anxious as we are to get a puppy, I think I'd almost prefer it if he stayed with mum. I mean, I think the longer he can stay with mum, the better for him. So I don't know if we're going to get him at the 8-week mark or the 10-week mark. We'll wait and see. But either way, we are going to try and do, if we can, weather permitting, car permitting, other commitments permitting, we're going to try and do like a play date at least once a week if we can. So whether that's her bringing him here to us or us going to visit her, I think that would be great. And that way when he does end up here, like permanently, he'll know us and he'll know the house and he'll recognize some of the sights and the smells of the property in the house. So I think it's excellent because this will be my 5th dog, the 5th dog that I've had in my life. Yes, that's right. It's a very important developmental stage. This is my 5th dog that I've had in my life, and I think like Sabbath, Black Sabbath, she was taken from her mum way too early. The Doberman, I don't know about him because I got him as a rescue. And then Gaia, my Vissla, I think I got Gaia at the 8-week mark. Oh, are we talking pork chops? Pork chops are yummy. I don't know what I'm having for dinner tonight. I did have a plan. Last night I made some spinach and ricotta um, cannelloni. And then I did like a tomato sauce and I added diced onion and mushrooms to it. So spinach and ricotta cannelloni, which I put in the tray, and then I poured this tomato, onion, mushroom sauce over the top, lashings of grated cheese into the oven it went. So that was really nice, really nice. But tonight, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Pork chop sounds good though, I must say. You found a sickly little puppy on a highway in Texas and we had it for 14 years. Oh, wow, Joy. Wow. How blessed was that puppy and how blessed were you? 14 years. That's incredible. See, there's stories I like to hear. Not because he was found on a highway. That I don't like to hear. Um, but the fact that he was found and he lived a long and happy life and brought joy and love to everyone. That's awesome. Oh, steak tips and lima beans. Hmm. Hmm. I know come spring, Dora wants me to grow chocos. Oh, he's the best friend I ever had. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can understand that. We never forget them, the animals that come through our lives. And it's always hard when they go. It's always hard when they go. But I do believe that we see them all again. I do believe that. I mean, animals have souls just like we do. I'm sure of it. I'm absolutely sure of it. So I know that I'll see Gaia again and Shandor, my Doberman, and Sabbath, the black Kelpie cross, and Shadow, my corgi that lived to 21. I'll see them all again. I'm convinced. Oh, animal lover, it's okay. I'm not sure we humans actually deserve dogs. I think it depends very much on the human, Joy. But yes, I mean there's some awful people that do awful things to animals. I mean there's some awful people that do awful things to humans too. But yeah, if you focus too much on that, we would all just end up feeling overwhelmed and unhappy. And I suppose that's why I always say to you, when I'm ending my lives, um, spread kindness and be beautiful because the world needs more of that. We need more kindness. We need more love. We need more joy. We need to fill people's cups with hope for the future and love for fellow man. It's a sad state of affairs, I think, that the world seems to be getting itself into. And that's also one of the reasons why I ended up on a homestead. I didn't feel, I didn't like the way the world was going, and I wanted to sort of forge my own path by going back to a simpler life, a simpler time, a simpler way of living. Not necessarily an easier way. It's not necessarily easy, but it's simpler. And it's at the end of the day, I can look back and feel that I've done something worthwhile, even if it's just working in the garden and pulling weeds. It gives me this life gives me a satisfaction that I never got from working an office job and writing letters and doing typing and filing. You know, I feel more, what's the word I'm after? Fulfilled. I feel more fulfilled doing this life. And you're not going to get rich being a homesteader either, believe me. Absolutely believe me. Financially rich, that is. You're not going to get financially rich. Some very rare and lucky people do. I'm not one of them, and I don't think I'll be one of them. But in terms of everything else, I am rich. You know, I live on this fantastic property, these wonderful views. You know, I mean, look at the wonderful views. Let me turn you around again. I mean, how could I not look at this and say I don't feel rich? Look at that. Just look at that. Oh, service dog. No, you don't need to leave, animal lover. You're good, love. Just look at the cows. Can you hear them mooing, animal lover? Cute cow, says Ariana. Can you see the cows, animal lover? Can you hear them mooing? They're mooing to you. How is Domino, the baby? Yeah, Domino is, I can see him. If you that group of cows that's right there, you can see one with black and white spots, almost at the front. I can't point to him because I'm actually holding my battery pack. And there's the sheep down there. But just look at that. How could I live this life and not feel rich? I feel rich in blessings. The third one, yes. Yes. Exactly. You think you see him? Yeah, no, that's the right one. But no, I feel rich in blessings. I don't have lots of money. No, I grow my own food and I write for newspapers that don't pay me. But I feel rich. I've got this incredible place and I have all of you guys, my friends. No, that's all right, love. Stay here, animal lover. It's okay. I've got all my friends here with me who keep me company week in and week out. So I am so blessed, so blessed. Here in my garden, says Amanda. Well, speaking of which, I know we haven't finished the tomato sauce. We should have a quick look at it. We'll go in and have a look. But I don't think any of you want to sit around for another hour and a half while it gets ready. Actually, I don't know. Can I actually do this? Let me see. Try and get my battery pack back in my pocket. Oh, all right. It's back in the pocket. Then I'll pick this up. And I'll turn you around so you can see me. And then I'll try and dodge all the plant pots. I've got a few plant pots out here because I moved them back off the edge of the veranda because we were getting so much rain. And we'll go check out this sauce and see how it's cooking down. Now this week the plan is every second Thursday I do my in the garden live. Wow, that's dark. So as long as it's not raining, which it might be, we will do that live. All right, we're back inside. Oh, wow, it smells so tomatoey. It smells so tomatoey in here. All right, let us go and have a look. We'll see. There's the wood stove. Now I'll have a try and angle you. Oh, I better make sure that the phone doesn't fog up. There we go. I wish you could smell this. I wish you could smell this. It smells wonderful. Hey, Truffy, how are you, my dear? I'm making a 12-month supply of tomato sauce. I almost said soup then. Ariana says it's funny how Americans say tomatoes because it makes me smile a little when you say it. Ah. No, I won't drop the phone in. I won't drop the phone in. So yeah, there it goes. Just got back from the tip. $68 for 2 couches. Good God. Wow. That's a lot. Ariana says, I know most other countries actually say it like that. Leslie. Hello, Leslie. Trophy says, awesome. Love homemade sauce and relish. Yeah, well, I try to do like a year's supply of tomato sauce and a year's supply of sweet chili jam and a year's supply of caramelized onion. I'm just showing you some of the crap on top of the mantelpiece there that you don't normally get to see. There you are. You can have a look at some stuff. A year's supply of caramelized onion, which will probably make some in the next few weeks. Bessie, you're here as well, my love. Thank you so much for being here. If anyone's just come into the chat, and I know there's a few of you have just come in, please consider hitting the like button for me. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. And we go over here. This is the view from the window. I've never really shown you the view from the window. I can sort of see it. See all the camellias coming out? Just starting to come out into flower now. But we'll turn you around. Put you back here. Now, I don't think we're going to be here too much longer, my friends. We have already been here for 2.5 hours. But I'd love to thank you all for being here. Hopefully this live will get me my watch hours. So I might actually be at 3,000 hours now. That's pretty exciting. And then I can have like super chats and members and all sorts of stuff like that. So this was the live that was going to potentially tip me over. So yay, hopefully. But my friends, I would love to thank you all once again for being here with me. I'm really sorry that you're not actually going to get to see it being put in jars, but it needs to cook for at least another 1.5 hours. So what I will do is once it is jarred up, I will take lots of happy snaps and I'll put them up on my High Country Homestead Facebook page and also in the community, YouTube community page. I'll probably pop it up there as well. So you can at least see the results of this. I mean, otherwise, the only other option is I do a second live. But I think happy snaps would be enough, wouldn't it? Patrick Keller. Hello, Patrick Keller. How are you? I don't think I've met you before, but thank you so much for coming in. It's lovely to meet you. I'm Susan, and I am in the Alpine region of Victoria, Australia, and it is just a little after midday on Saturday here. So, oh, Joy says you've worked so hard to get to 3,000. Good for you. Thank you, Joy. Leslie saying hello to Patrick. Ariana says there's a decent amount of people here. Hopefully most of us stayed for the full couple of hours. Oh, thank you, love. Yeah, look, I think so. And look, as exciting as it is, if it doesn't happen today, it doesn't happen today. You know, like, I like to see progress. I think all of us that have channels like to see some progress, and it's nice to hit some of those milestones. But if it doesn't happen today, well, it'll happen another day. So it's all good. It's all good. Oh, you're in Ohio. Okay, so Patrick Keller is in Ohio. Well, thank you. It's lovely to meet you, Patrick. This is my regular, well, for me, Saturday live, which is called Around the Kitchen Table, where we mooch around inside and do stuff in the kitchen. Sometimes we're making cakes or tomato sauce or tomato ketchup or soup. And then Tuesdays, I do my farm walk and talk, where I wander around the property and we look at the sheep and the cows and the chickens, and we look at the view and we pick up weird bones that we find on the ground, or we certainly did last time. And then every second Thursday I do it in the garden spot as well. And soon I'm going to be starting a new series which will happen every second Sunday. And I think I'm going to call it the Homestead Chronicles. I'm just going to try it out. But what the plan is to start reading some of my articles. And I'll just see how it goes. So I'll probably camp by the fireplace in the lamplight and read you one. So I'll do that every second Sunday for a little while at least, and see what people think, because I might do it and you might all hate it, and so there's no point in continuing. But my friends, I do think it is time. Let me just have a final check with the, oh, you love your Australians. Can we find out where your progress is? Let me think. I checked it. How do I do that, D-Man? I checked last night because YouTube updates everything. My time, it's 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. each day. And yesterday, YouTube put all the hours up for May 31st. Okay. Now, at that point, it was saying, if I bring it up, maybe I can show you, only it'll be backwards, won't it? It was saying that I needed 42 hours, I think it was. It was 32 or 42. Maybe it was 42. Let me have a look there. Click on that. Click on that. It's getting there. Just give me a moment. What am I looking at? Earn. And it brings up that. All right. Now, keeping in mind that you're going to be looking at this backwards, okay? This is for D-Man, who wanted to see where I was up to. So if I turn you around, and I might need to bring the computer a bit closer so you can actually see it. Ding, ding. So you're not really able to read it, I don't think. So the top blue line, this one here, is showing data as of May 31st. It says I have 1725 subscribers. The next blue line is 3 video uploads in the last 90 days. And then you need one of the following. So that's my blue line here, which is almost at the 3,000 mark. I don't tend to put a lot of shorts up, so that's why there's no blue on the lower one. So the top, this blue line here is for your long form and lives, and this lower line is for your shorts. So that's where I'm at, D-Man. So it's all happening. It's all happening. So, which is good. It's exciting. Let me turn you back. Ace. Just ignore the trolls, guys. Oh, yes, for sure. No, sweetheart, they're not calling you a troll, love. Love seeing this, Susan. We are also invested. Awesome, Susan. You go and test the waters for us. Yes, I will indeed. I will indeed. Anyway, my friends, I think now that I've shared that all, oh, and Ace, were you here before Ace? I've started writing my book. I've started writing my book, Ace. I've done the first 2 chapters. But anyway, time for me to go. And it's probably time for you all to go as well. So I would like to thank you all very much for being here with me and taking 2.5 hours out of your evening and out of your day to be here with me on the homestead. I appreciate you all so much, and I love having all my friends here with me. I love being able to potter in the kitchen or be on the farm or in the garden and having my friends with me. It means a huge amount. It really does. Because I love all of you. You're all such a wonderful community. So thank you so much for being here and being a friend and being part of this community and spending the time. Kirsty, thank you so much for putting all the links up. I appreciate that greatly. Ace, thank you very much for putting all the links up. Patrick Keller says, great to find this stream. I'll check you later. Sending love and good vibes and positivity from Ohio. Thank you, Patrick. I do hope you come back because, yeah, we're a beautiful group. Everyone who comes in here is just a beautiful soul. Really, we are. And we're all connected, you know, and yeah, everyone here is lovely. So it would be wonderful to be able to welcome you into the fold and welcome you to the homestead. But yeah, look, thank you everyone for being here. I hope you all have a lovely evening and a wonderful weekend. And I hope you all take care and stay safe. Spread kindness, and what is it we say? Stay beautiful. And yeah, I'll be posting the photos of the sauce up later. So I love you all. Please give it a thumbs up if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.